Well, hello, this is Bill Steffen. Thanks so much for coming here for a little bit of a break in your day. We got a great day going outside. Should see a good amount of sunshine during the day today. Kind of partly cloudy-ish. Temperatures will be slightly cooler than average. The average high temperature is up to 49 already. So we're moving up here as we close out March and head into the month of April. Look how much snow fell in the UP, parts of the UP. This is a couple days total, 16.5 inches. That was near Houghton. Painesdale added another foot of snow. We'll talk more about them in a minute. Hagerman there and Kearsarge at 10 inches each. Hancock had 9. Iron Mountain with 8. Ironwood with 7 inches. The most in lower Michigan was Indian River with half a foot of new snow. And as close to us as Mason County, they picked up about 4 inches of snow. Not so much near the lake at Ludington, but in areas inland in Mason and Manistee County, picking up around 4 inches of snow or thereabouts. Take a look at season snowfall and look at the top. Whoa, my goodness. Painesdale has made it to 300 inches for the winter season. The depth of snow there was reported, last check there was 42 inches. Now they had 116 inches all last winter, and they're at 302 so far. And with 42 inches on, and they could melt an inch of snow a day, and they would still have snow on the ground into about second week of May. There are 8 locations in Upper Michigan that have had over 200 inches of snow. A lot of them in the Keweenaw Peninsula and also that area west of Marquette and also south of Munising and Grand Marais. Those are areas that have seen the most snow. And look down on the bottom. Sault Ste. Marie is closing in on 200 inches for the winter. They are 84.5 inches above average. So they have had 7 feet more snow than average up in Sault Ste. Marie, and they still have 17 inches on the ground there. Snowplow clearers there, really getting the work out. Here's what the snow looks like in the Grand Rapids area. There was a trace on the ground this morning, and that's why it shows up white there. That is pretty well melted off, but still is visible in some of the shady areas, especially on the north side of Grand Rapids. There's an area from Baldwin up through Cadillac over to Mansalona, Kalkaska, and Gaylord with about 4 inches of snow on the ground. And that deep blue area up around Lake Superior, there's places up there that still have, like I said, over 40 inches of snow on the ground. Whenever our wind goes north, it's going to be coming off that cold water and the snow cover, and it's not going to be real warm. Here's a look at snow on the ground. The number that you see is for that location is to the northwest of the name. So if you look at Manistee in the lower left there, they have 1 inch of snow on the ground. Frankfort would be 2, Traverse City with about 2 inches of snow on the ground. And you can see the heavier snow totals off to the northwest. Grand Marais has 13 inches on the ground, but if you go inland about 10 miles from the lake, you find about double that in terms of snowfall on the ground. And the one spot near Munising with 35 inches of snow on the ground as we speak. So that's they've had quite the winter up there, and it's not over yet. Take a look at what's coming here. First of all, we want to show you the snow stake. That was a picture taken Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. And you can see that we've got snow falling out there. They've got about 4 inches on the ground, and most all of that is new snow. Now, the next system coming in could produce some freezing rain up there. And as you can see, that bright yellow color is the area that has the best chance for seeing some freezing rain. That could cause some icy spots on the roads. And again, as we head into the weekend there, it could be quite cold. We're going to see quite a temperature difference from one end of Michigan to the other. It may be in the low 30s up along the Lake Superior shoreline. At the same time, it's 70 down toward the Indiana border. All right, let's take time out and thank our sponsors right here. Michelle.
Hello. And I had a wonderful day. I didn't have to work either of my jobs, which is pretty rare. So I did some cleaning, and I went to clean the bathroom mirror, and I didn't have the thing that I needed to clean it. So I left streaks, and it was not good. If I lived in West Michigan, I would call Complete Care Concierge LLC because they are a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service. They serve all of West Michigan. If you own a home or it's your office or anything else that you need cleaned, they've got you. They can do a one-time clean if you've got a special event, if you've got company coming, if you're moving in, if you're moving out. They can do on a repeated basis. They even clean on the weekends. So they've got everything that you need. They're the professionals. It's what they do. They've got all the latest stuff. They can make your bathroom mirrors. Anything else that you need looks spectacular. So give them a call, 616-264-1397. And we so appreciate them sponsoring Bill, Steffen Weather.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
And thanks to Ace for helping us out here, sponsoring the show. Let's move on and take a look at what's ahead here for us. Cool and dry here during the day today. Partly to mostly sunny skies are expected. Cool weather is expected here through Thursday morning, and there'll be showers over the weekend. We could see a shower as early as Thursday, but certainly it won't be raining all the time. But that best chance for a thunder shower will come here on Sunday. So let's take a look at our snow map. This is a 72-hour snowfall, and once again, we're seeing just a dusting at the most is all that's going to be left here across northern lower Michigan and the UP. So we'll have a chance to dig out. Look out west toward Washington State. I got some snowfall statistics from Mount Baker, which at times is the snowiest place in the entire world. But let me give you some of these numbers here for you. Mount Baker are now up to 551 inches of snow for the winter season. 551. They had 58 inches of snow in the last week. So that's almost 5 feet of snow in the last week. And they have had 145 inches of snow this month at Mount Baker, Washington, which makes March the snowiest month of the year so far. But fortunately, that should taper off a little bit here. Let's take a look at our forecast for tomorrow. We're looking for temperatures in the mid-40s here later on today. Partly cloudy skies are expected. Low temperatures during the early morning down into the low to mid-20s. So if you've got some water in the bird bath, that's going to freeze here overnight and then thaw out again. Humidity levels drop to about 50% here during the afternoon. Could actually even go as low as 40%. Winds will be northwest to west, only about 5 to 10 miles an hour. It may be closer to 10 miles an hour during the afternoon, but the wind should be a little bit lighter, and that should make it feel just a little bit warmer. Here's a look at temperatures over the next 3 days. First of all, today we're seeing readings in the low to mid 40s. Up to the north, it may still be hanging around the freezing mark much of the day up towards Sault Ste. Marie. We move ahead to tomorrow, and temperatures are 10 degrees warmer. We should be up into the low to mid 50s during the afternoon. Mid 50s down in the Indiana border area. And off to the north, it's finally starting to warm up a little bit up along the Lake Superior shoreline. And then finally move ahead to Friday, when temperatures in that yellow-colored area could reach the low 60s here at least, maybe even mid-60s south of Grand Rapids. It will be a bit cooler near Lake Michigan, and it certainly will be cooler again if you're heading up toward the UP or around the lake into northeast Wisconsin. Here's your 5-day forecast. 45 the high today, 53 for Thursday. Thursday, about a 30% chance of a shower. Better bet for rain comes Friday, though it won't be raining all the day. There'll be a few scattered showers here Friday and Saturday, and the possibility of a thunderstorm here during the day on Sunday. The farther south you are, the better bet for thunder here. Chances will be pretty good for thunderstorms down across Indiana, but they get pretty iffy if you go north of Grand Rapids. But look at those temperatures up around 60 or better. Here's the updated severe weather outlook map for Sunday, and you can see that they've moved it a little farther south. That did come up right to the Michigan-Indiana border. They moved it down to around Fort Wayne right now, so hopefully severe weather will stay south of us, but that is a large area where there could be severe thunderstorms, including tornadoes, and the possibility for some pretty hefty winds and hail from central Illinois and north central Indiana all the way down into Alabama and Mississippi. Here's the long-range outlook, 8 to 14-day temperatures, again, above average temperatures here. And much of the eastern half of the United States is going to be warm. It stays on the chilly side in the Pacific Northwest. And rainfall, again, a little bit above average here. And with a pattern like this, that would indicate that we'll have at least several rounds during that week-long period where we'll see scattered showers and storms. One more picture to pass along to you. I grabbed this picture off the webcam at Yosemite National Park. They've had a lot of snow on the Sierra Nevada mountains, and today was a sunny day and it was melting. The river there pretty much dries up during the dry season of late summer and early fall, and you have to be really careful that you don't catch a quick thunderstorm, because all of a sudden the water would start flowing, and anybody that might be trying to scale the peak where the waterfall is certainly would have to get out of the way very quickly. But it was looking great today. A waterfall. There's actually several waterfalls there. There's a upper falls, then a cascade, and then a lower falls there. And it's pretty crazy that waterfall that you're looking at right there is about 4.5 times higher than the Amway Grand Plaza. So, I mean, that is really high, and it comes crashing down there. But a nice day out there in California, finally seeing some sunshine. Michelle, what's up?
Let's start with the big game. Grand Valley women's basketball plays in the Final Four Wednesday night in Pittsburgh. And how you can watch ESPN Plus. You need a subscription for that, but you can listen on 106.1 FM or 1340 AM. And I think I found the links that you can listen online if you want to listen on the radio, I think. So hopefully you'll try those out and those will be correct. And that's how you can listen to Grand Valley's women basketball playing in the Final Four to see if they can win their first championship since 2006.
And they are a great team. The announcer that they have for the team is pretty good too. So if you got some time, grab a listen and enjoy the game. Wish them the best. Go Lakers.
And the Grand Rapids Griffins play tomorrow at Van Andel Arena. And I saw conflicting things online about the time, so I didn't put down a time, so I wasn't sure.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a great game. And some of the games they've had recently have sold out. So if you're looking for tickets, check it out early and enjoy the game.
And, Dad, this is your photo. Mm-hmm. The butterfly exhibit is on at the Meyer Gardens, where Mom's mom, used to volunteer. And that is through April 30, and it is the largest temporary tropical butterfly exhibition in the U.S. Dad, have you ever been?
Yes, I have been more than several, probably a handful of times. I think it's great. We've been members of the Meyer Gardens since it pretty much began. Yeah, we don't get out there as often as I would like to, but it's a great place to just go for a walk. The early flowers are out right now, the crocuses, and the tulips are coming up. They'll be out in April, and it's a great place to spend the day at the Meyer Gardens.
And we have no shortage of stock photos for this show from all of your many, many trips.
Did you find one of the big pumpkins?
I don't know, but I'll go back and look.
I remember taking one of some absolutely gigantic pumpkins that were there over by Lena's farmhouse.
All right. And there's a 5K this coming Saturday at Riverside Park, 9 o'clock. It is free, but you do need to register if you want an official time. And walkers are welcome. So no matter your pace, they would love to see you there. And it starts at the north end of the park. And
once again, that is free. Absolutely 100% free.
And there's also a walk to end Alzheimer's on the GVSU Grand Rapids campus this Saturday from 10 to noon.
We've covered that in the past. They got a good turnout for that. A lot of people affected by Alzheimer's, including our family. We've had a couple of people that have gotten Alzheimer's in their old age.
On this day in history, only 1 year ago, the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse resulted in 6 fatalities.
Right, and I think the 6 fatalities are people that were working on the bridge during the nighttime when that hit. But tragic event.
Mm-hmm. So here is your question for the day. Francis Scott Key was an American lawyer and poet. He wrote the poem Defense of Fort McHenry. The poem was set to music and is what song that we know today?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Very good.
What's so proudly we hailed? Okay, enough. Yeah, Star Spangled.
Yeah, so Francis Scott Key Bridge, Francis Scott Key, who that's named after, wrote a poem that was later turned into our national anthem. I can't say that we know and love, because do we love it? It's kind of hard to sing.
It is. A lot of people would prefer America the Beautiful, but I think the Star Spangled Banner fits, and I think we have a great flag with the 50 stars.
Or God Bless America would be a nice one too.
Yes. Yep.
But just for, singability and the number of people who can sing that song well, being distributed over all of our sporting events. I don't know.
I found a version of the Star Spangled Banner from Sandy Patty that was on ABC News with Peter Jennings when they had the anniversary of the Statue of Liberty. And if you want to hear a great rendition of that, just go to YouTube, and it's Sandy Patty is the lady's name who sings it, and it was on ABC World News Tonight.
I had her autograph growing up. My bestie,
Really?
I think the 5th grade, wrote her and asked her for an autograph for Christmas for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a small chance it's still in your house somewhere.
Well, I have Jerry Ford's autograph. In fact, I think I have it more than once from the Boy Scout days way back when.
Someday we're going to have to go through your political buttons for this show because you have an amazing collection.
I have an Alf Landon button from, I believe, 1936. I also
react like I know who that is.
I have McGovern Eagleton buttons before Eagleton was dropped, and I believe Sergeant Shriver became George McGovern's vice presidential nominee in what would that be? 72 maybe.
Why was he dropped?
There was something about him seeing a psychiatrist or something like that, and thinking that was something negative when it shouldn't have been. And I remember George Wallace getting up there and saying, "Yeah, I saw a psychiatrist once. He said I'm certifiably sane." And I was like, "Oh my goodness!" That was 72 is the year that Nixon won in a landslide. I think he won 49 states. He won every state except Massachusetts. And then in 84, Reagan won every state except Minnesota. Reagan, just out of respect for Walter Mondale, did not campaign in Minnesota. So that was an interesting thing. And it was, that was back at a time when everybody got along. Now everybody's at each other's throats. But, Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan used to kind of hang out together. They were buddies. And Mondale the same way. Mondale, I remember when Mondale lost, they had a picture of him, and he just decided to go out fishing. He just went out in a boat by himself and caught a few fish. So kind of interesting. Different time. Oh dear.
Okay, so you said this isn't true, but I thought I heard you say on a show last week that I was at work, so I wasn't a part of it, that your first trip to Alaska was with holiday vacations. And you said that that's not true, that it was your first trip with holiday vacations that was to Alaska.
Yeah, first trip with holiday vacations went to Alaska. The year before that, I went with you to Juneau, Alaska.
Yeah, so here's us. So it's the same coat. So this is your go to Alaska coat, apparently.
And that coat did me fine. That held up to the rain and everything else like that. By the way, those moose antlers must have weighed 30 pounds. They were like a double bowling ball. I had to really balance them. But we were all trying them on. I don't think I'd want to be a moose and kind of have to lug that around with me the whole year.
So when you were with holiday vacations, you went all over. You did a whole tour. When we went to Juneau and we stayed at the hotel that was walking distance to the airport, and then we took a bus from there into Juneau, and from there we did some things, and we took a tram up to the top of the mountain in the picture on the right.
Right.
And then we went for a hike.
After we took the tram up to the top, and then you could walk another 2,000 feet up. We were weren't we something like 2,500 or 3,000 feet above the sound there?
Yeah, so we had lunch up there at the top of the mountain, and then Dad said, "Let's go for a little walk." And I'm thinking, his age, we're at the top of the mountain. What's it going to be? 10 minutes? I think 2 hours later, I was the one that said, "Dad, I don't think we can go any far because the trail's like this wide. It's like you're walking on a balance beam." And he's just like, and I'm like, "Dad, I'm scared."
And we were running in the snow too.
I don't want to fall down a mountain in Alaska. That's like not a to-do for sure. So we turned around. But yes, that walk was hours when I thought we were going for a senior citizen stroll. That was not. Yeah,
I really have always enjoyed hiking. And fortunately, I'm still able to do some of that in my old age here. But that was really a nice hike. Had a great time. You can see the totem pole in the back. I talked with a native Alaskan about doing the poles, and he was a fascinating guy to talk to. He talked about the fact that the top part of the pole usually is an animal or a symbol of his family or tribe, whatever. And then he talked about the detail it took to make something like that, and he was very proud of his work.
And I will say that one of my travel superpowers is the ability to go into one of those jewelry shops, and you know how they give you the little charm for going in.
Yep.
I can go in, get my charm, and not buy anything else.
Yeah.
And they pour it on thick, and they're like, "What do you want to buy?" I'm like, "Nothing, just the charm. Literally, just want the charm because you said if I walked in here, I'd get a charm, and then I can leave. It's totally fine."
And there were like 20 jewelry stores all in a row, and of course they were all, for the cruise ships that were coming through Juneau there.
How does that work? Like, if someone's going to be enticed to go in your store just to get a free charm, that's really going to be the base that you end up selling to, I guess.
Well, whatever works, and it's all a matter of supply and demand. When when people stop buying, and maybe if there's a recession or there aren't as many boats coming, then there'll be fewer number of stores. And then if there's a little bit of a slack there, then somebody will start one up again.
Well, I have my collection of free charms from all the touristy places I've been around the world because I know how to say no.
By the way, do you know who Juneau, Alaska is named for?
No.
Juneau, Alaska is named after Joe Juneau, who was a miner, and he dug a hole there. He was looking for some precious metal or something like that, and they kind of determined he was the first guy there, so they named the place after him when he didn't do much of anything except dig a hole.
Well, good for him. It's nice to, have your little things recognized sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a good time. It rained, but the bus was a good way to get around. Really, when you travel, there's a lot you can do with public transportation. That's one of my things.
Yes, and and they took cash. In fact, they preferred cash.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it came right by the hotel, and it just took us into town and picked us up when we were done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody was super friendly, and we just had a great time.
Okay, so speaking of a good time, another way you can have a good time is to go with Bill on his next trip with Holiday Vacations. This summer, they are going to the Canadian Rockies.
July 19th through the 28th are the dates that we're going, and there's the path that we're going to take. We're going to land in Calgary. We're going to take air to there, and then we're going to go to Banff, Lake Louise, Jasper, and then we're going to hop over the mountains there, take a train for a little while through the Canadian Rockies. We'll end up in Vancouver, and then go from Vancouver from Vancouver, the city, to Vancouver Island, and go to the city of Victoria and the Bouchard Gardens there, and then back to Seattle. It should be a fantastic trip.
And the whole group flies together from the Grand Rapids Airport. You can fly from somewhere else if that's where you're at. But if you're nervous about traveling alone, you're not traveling alone. It's like band tour in high school. You're going to be there with the entire group the entire time.
And they do everything for you, and that's the good thing about it. You don't have to worry about anything. They have a list of attractions. Let's say you land in Vancouver, and some of the group wants to go hiking. Well, here's the place to go. Some of you want to go shopping. Well, the bus drops you off at the shopping area there. It's really a great time, and you feel safe too, which is another thing. You travel as a group. I think probably half the people on the tour are going to be coming from Grand Rapids, at least half. So hope you can think about it. There's a video that you can watch, and you actually get $100 off the fare if you watch the video. So you can check that out, holidayvacations.com.
And it's leisurely, so don't worry about your ability levels. It's for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And last but not least, another lovely photo from John Scully of some deer in his yard.
Oh, dear. Those deer look a little confused. It's supposed to be springtime, and here I am pawing through the snow to find some food. By the way, the deer up in the UP are doing okay with all the snow that they've had up there. In past years, it's been so cold and snowy that they've had to drop straw from helicopters to help the birds out, or to help the deer out. So,
you know how you two were always driving the weather bug down to see me in college?
Yep.
There was one episode.
Let me do that, by the way.
So it was a 2-door. So whoever was in the back seat was like stuck. There was no making a run for it. And there was one episode where we had gone out for dinner after the game, and you were driving me back to my house. and I was in the back seat, and we pulled in, and we lived kind of in the woods. So there were some deer there, and you two were acting like you had never seen deer before. So you two stopped and decided that we needed to sit and look at these deer for 20 minutes. And I was just like stuck in the back of, like, I couldn't run. So finally you guys let me go, and I go into the house, and my housemates were like, so what'd you get in trouble for? Huh? Well, you look like you were getting yelled at. Like, no, I was being held hostage because my parents have never seen deer before, even though we all live in Michigan, is what was happening there. So I guess I was looking like I was getting in trouble for something while you all were watching the deer and the weather bug.
We've stopped for deer before. We've stopped for sandhill cranes. We've stopped for, I mean, up in Alaska when we were there, we would stop on the side of the road for large animals like moose or bear. You know, and that was kind of
surprising number of deer in Jefferson County, Alabama. I see them almost every night on my drive home, but my drives home are really late. They're like between 1 and 3 in the morning, but I've only ever seen deer at night, but I see them almost every night I drive home.
They're very resilient creatures. They really are. And I mean, they can be out without putting on a coat or boots. You know, we've got to dress up for the weather, but they can just kind of hang out there, whether it's 0 in the wintertime or, 100 degrees during the summertime or in the middle of a thunderstorm or whatever, and they just kind of plod along. Well, I think it's time to wrap things up here. I hope you have yourself a fantastic day today. Enjoy the day. It'll feel just a touch warmer because the wind won't be quite so strong out there. We're looking for some rain over the weekend, so enjoy the dry weather we have today. Bye-bye.